morning, children. In the last class, you have studied about the three states of matter: solid, liquid and gas. Now, today we are going to study about the change of state of matter. That means solid can be converted into a liquid can be converted into a gas can be converted into liquid, and it can be converted into solid. In that way, the different states of matter, they will not remain one and the same, but they are going to change. So when we consider examples of matter, all living things are matter, all non-living things are matter. But when we consider the living things, from the small baby, we will become a grown-up human being. In the same way, when we consider the non-living things, that means the temperature, it goes on changing. Or we are going to consider the liquid, water, or the hydrogen, or the oxygen, or the stones, what we are going to see, the soil, everything, it goes on changing. It will not remain in its own form or in its same state. There may be changing the size, shape of the object, but here the object itself, it is going to change. So that we are going to consider in change of state. So first one that we are going to consider in the change of state is about the change of state we are going to consider. So here, what is the first thing that we are going to consider is the solid. Solid is going to get converted into liquid, and that conversion of solid into liquid is called as melting. So what we are going to consider is the first conversion, that is called as melting. What it is? The change of solid into liquid is called melting. And the next one, when we consider the liquid is going to get converted into gas, and that is called as evaporation. So next one that we are going to consider is evaporation. What is evaporation? The change of state of what it is liquid into gas. That is called as evaporation. And the next one that we are going to consider is when we are going to consider the gas again gets converted into liquid. That is called as condensation. So next one that we are going to consider is condensation. What is the change that we are going to consider? Here, the change of what state? The change of liquid. What it is? Not the liquid, but it is the gas. What it will get converted into? It will get converted into liquid. And the next one that we are going to consider is the conversion of liquid again into solid. So that process, it is called as freezing. What is freezing? The change of this the substance, matter state, liquid. Then what it will get converted into? It will get converted into the solid. So it is also called as solidification, or we are going to call in common, that is called as freezing. In that way, we consider the processes where first one is melting. So what is the example for melting? When we are going to consider this picture, where we are going to consider solid ice, the solid substance, then it is going to melt and it will get converted into liquid. And the next one, opposite of that one, when the liquid is cool, it is going to get converted into solid. And the next one that we are going to consider is gas and liquid interconversion. The gas, when it is going to get condensed, it will get converted into liquid. And the same way, liquid on evaporation, it will get converted into gas. Here, example for different states of water. When we consider the water, it exists in all the three states of matter. That means water is in the form of liquid, water is available in the form of gas, that is called as the steam we are going to say, the clouds what we are going to see. And the next one, water is going to exist in the form of the solid, that is the ice. We are very fond of eating the ice. So here, these are the three different states of water. So water, when we are going to boil, what it will get converted into? It will get converted into steam or water vapor, we are going to say. So it converts into gas from the liquid. And in the same way, when we consider this ice, on melting, it will get converted into liquid. And the ice on cooling, again it will get converted into ice. So here, what about the changes? We are going to observe only changes in the spacing of the molecule. That is what we are going to consider the change of state. So here, when we consider the change of a state, that is evaporation. How the evaporation is going to take place? When we are going to make the surface of water, that is having large area, then automatically the water molecule will get converted into gas, that is called as evaporation. So because of evaporation of water, what we are using, we can dry our cloth, and we are going to dry so many things. The common example where we are going to use this evaporation is to get the salt by using the common method, that is called as evaporation. In that way, the sea water is made to dry by collecting that in large area, water gets evaporated and we are going to get the ice. Then the next one, that is called as condensation. So what is condensation? The gas getting converted into liquid. So here what we see is the drops of water. When we are going to, what we have to do? We are going to see the glasses of the window. Then we are going to see the water droplets collected on that one. Or when the water is boiled. When the water is boiled, if you are going to close the lid of the boiling water, then you will see the drop of water collected at the bottom. So this is because of the process that is called as condensation. So here, what is condensation? Change of gas into liquid. Now the next one is melting, and also it is called as the opposite of that is freezing. What is melting? When we consider the ice, if you keep open, then it will get converted into liquid, that is water. And the next one, the opposite of that one, when we are going to take the water and keep that in the refrigerator, water gets converted into ice. So here we are heating the ice, then it will get converted into water, that is liquid. And that process, it is called as melting. And the next one that we are going to consider is about some of the processes where the steps are not followed. So here, when we consider the conversion, we are going to consider the solid getting converted into liquid, and the next one, liquid getting converted into a gas. In the same way, it is where when the gas is full, it will get converted into liquid, and when the liquid is full, it will get converted into solid. So, there these three states, they are going to change in order, but we are going to consider some of the processes where we are going to see that is called as the sublimation, and the next one it is called as deposition. When we consider the sublimation, in case of that one, what you are going to see, this is camphor. The camphor that we are going to burn by taking the arti. In case of the deity, after completing the puja, we are going to take that arti. So what we are going to do, we are going to burn the camphor. When the camphor is burnt, directly it is going to get converted into gas without converting into liquid. So here, what the gas if we are going to see, the gas it is going to get converted directly into the solid, or the solid that is directly getting converted into gas. So that process it is called as sublimation. So this is example for sublimation of camphor. So what is sublimation? Sublimation is the change of, what we consider, the change of what it is, solid into gas. So here we are seeing burning of the camphor, and another example what we have got is what they are going to put inside, that is called as dry ice. So this dry ice, when it is put into water, it is going to directly get converted into the gas that is called as carbon dioxide. In that way, we are going to consider the process of sublimation means the change of solid into gas. Then the opposite of the sublimation, that is called as deposition. What is the deposition? Here we are going to consider the change of gas into solid. So example for that one is the dry ice. So dry ice which is in the form of gas, then it will be getting converted into the dry ice in the form of the cubes. What cubes you are going to see? It is example of dry ice. So carbon dioxide directly gets converted into form of ice. So what is the use of this? This process is called as deposition, where how to keep that one? This dry ice we have to put that by wrapping with paper. And where we are using? We are using in case of food keeping coolers. And how to keep that one? In the paper, we have to fold that dry ice and keep inside the box. Then the food what we have to preserve, that we have to keep inside that one. And what are the tips? We should use always gloves, and then we have to put the or touch the dry ice. Then the next one, while keeping that one, we have to use or we have to carry that box safely. And also, while using that in the tent, we have to keep that away. So where we are carrying, when we have to carry our food, so that it should not get destroyed. Where we are going to take, if we are going to take that to different places, to keep our food without getting spoiled, we are using the dry ice, where we cannot carry the ice, the water ice. So that is what the deposition is. Then the next one that we have to consider the two types of changes. First one, it is called as the reversible change, and the next one, it is called as irreversible change. So first change that we consider is reversible change. So what changes that we are going to consider in case of the states of matter? Some changes are reversible. That means after changing the substance, we can get back the substance again. That is called as reversible change. So here a change of substance where we can get back the original substance or original matter. That is called as reversible change. So here, when we are going to consider the reversible change, example for that one is when we are going to put the salt in water. Salt dissolves in water. Then the next thing, we can get back the salt by evaporation. Because of that type of processes are called as reversible change. So condensation, dissolving the substance in water, we can get back the substance again. They are all example for reversible change. So here, when we are going to consider this process, different states of matter, it is a reversible change. We can convert water into ice. From the ice, when it melts, we can get back the water. In the same way, when water is boiled, it will get converted into water vapor or steam. When it is cooled, we can get back the water. Therefore, this change, it is called as reversible change. And the next change, type of change, that is called as irreversible change. So in case of irreversible change, so what is it? A change of substance or state of the substance where we cannot get back the original substance. That is called as what type of change? Irreversible change. So here the example for irreversible change where after the change of the substance we cannot get back the original substance is burning. So what we are seeing here? We are seeing this wood is burning. After the burning of the wood, we are going to get the ashes and we are going to get the charcoal. By collecting all the charcoal or by collecting all the ashes, we cannot make the wood again. So this is what type of change? A permanent change. We cannot get back the substance once again. So example for other or it is burning of the substance. When we are going to burn the fuel, when we are going to run the car, we use the petrol or we use the diesel. Once it is going to get converted into gas, by collecting the gas, we cannot make the petrol again. So in that way, burning of the substance is an example for what type of change? Irreversible changes. In that way, what we are going to consider the states of matter. Some states of matter we can get back. Solid to liquid, when it is changed, we can get back that solid substance again. But in some of the processes, we cannot get back the substance once again. It is a permanent change. That is what we are going to consider in the change of state of matter. So with this, I am going to conclude today's class. In the next class, again we shall consider the other type of changes that is called as chemical change and physical change. These changes, what we consider reversible and irreversible, again they are divided into chemical change and physical change. So that examples we shall consider in the next class. Thank you, children.